Hello everyone. First, let's discuss in detail about the RBI monetary policy decision that took place on October 6th. On last Friday, market closed positive, but RBI also announced some unusual things which might possibly affect the banks in a negative manner. So, it's important to understand that. Then we will discuss about what happened in the Indian stock market last week as a whole, and finally, what are some important earnings economic calendar events that we need to look out for the week ahead, that is October 2nd week. Let's get started. First, in short, last week RBI kept the interest rate unchanged at 6.5% for the fourth consecutive MPC as everyone expected, but there are slight modification in their policy tone. So far in last all the previous meetings, they always said that they want to control the inflation between 2 to 6% or simply below 6%. But in the last meeting on Friday, they said they would keep the interest rate as higher for the longer period and do the liquidity tight to bring the inflation closer to its 4% target. So earlier they said they will be comfortable if inflation falls below 6%, but this time they want to bring the inflation down to 4%. That's the first takeaway. Then the second one, like how in the last MPC meeting, RBI implemented the short-term incremental CRR to control the inflation through controlling money supply. Similar to that, this time RBI governor announced that they are considering open market bond sales via auctions. Again, this too control the inflation through controlling money supply, but in a different way. Here, the selling of Rupee government bonds is technically called open market operations, aka OMO. Let's consider myself as either bank or government. Now, I want 100 crore rupees money for either to do business or to do some government project. Here, instead of asking loan from RBI, I will go and sell the 100 crore rupees bond to RBI or to the public. In most cases, so far, RBI accept and buy those bonds and will give me that required 100 crore rupees. In return, I will pay the monthly bond yield as a coupon to RBI. This is the most general common practice. So, Indian banks like SBI, HDFC Bank and ICICI all will sell the Rupee bond to RBI and then they will get the money and then lend it to business or to individual like us. I hope it's clear what is Rupee bond and what is the role of RBI, government and Indian banks. This general practice will increase the money supply, but now RBI wants to do exactly opposite. They want to do the quantitative tightening to reduce the inflation. Meaning, instead of buying the bonds, RBI said that they are going to sell those Rupee bonds in the open market operation by auctioning. Here, they can do two things. Either they can create the new Rupee bond and sell, or they might sell the bond what they already hold from government or banks. In both scenarios, it will lead both government and banks to pay more money as a bond yield because of increased bond supply in the open market, which indeed affects the bank's net interest margin, or to government it will make their borrowings expensive. That's why on last Friday, the moment when RBI announced this, Rupee bond yield increased over 15 basis points, and I know on Friday banks closed positive, but this move was clearly negative for Indian banking stocks. And also for the moment, bond yield is less than 8% or we can say less than 7.5%. But this RBI move has the remote potential to increase the bond yield as much as 9%. In those cases, that will be a disastrous and disrupt the economy. At present, I know momentum is good and everything is good now, but I recommend to keep an eye on Rupee bond yield. Anyway, that's all about RBI and monetary policy. Now the second topic, quickly in short, what happened last week. It was the second straight week Indian market was really volatile and ended closed in a flat note. The only difference is we can see it in a weekly candlestick chart. In both week it formed long-legged, more or less hammer kind of, but on September last week it closed on a negative note, but last week it closed on a positive note. Usually, it's a sign of market reaching the immediate bottom. So, if Nifty crosses and closed above last week high 19,675, then technically we can say market turned its momentum from negative to positive. Here, please note, earlier I talked about worst case scenario for RBI's action. Now, I'm just conveying from pure technical perspective. Last week in the first half, Tuesday and Wednesday, Nifty dropped 200 points since Monday was holiday. Then in the next 2 days, Thursday and Friday, Nifty increased roughly 220 points. So 20 points net addition. Stock wise on Friday, 40 stocks have pushed the Nifty up, 10 dragged it down. I found this interesting and fancy Nifty heat map in TradingView. If required, please pause and have a look. Bajaj Finance and Bajaj Finserv went up by 4% and 6%. Banks like ICICI, Kotak, State Bank and IndusInd Bank have made small gains. TCS increased because of expected buyback news and Infosys also increased. Other stocks like ITC, Coal India, Maruti, Tata Motors, Mahindra and some steel companies all increased 0.7 to 1.5%. Then on sector wise, all 15 major increased, but as a whole week, it's just Realty and IT that contributed significantly on the positive side. As a summary, on week-on-week basis, Nifty increased by 0.1% and Sensex increased near 0.25%, and however, Bank Nifty decreased by 0.5%. So this is the summary of what happened on Indian market last week. Now let's move to the next topic. Just for info, the upcoming week Wednesday is the start of the Q2 earnings season. So we can expect some very volatile moves based on the company's earnings report from Wednesday onwards. And also during the week, there are scheduled for release of very important macros such as Indian inflation and US inflation, etc. Let's see all those in detail. First, starting from Monday, October 9th, Glenmark Life Science Board is scheduled to meet for dividend consideration. So based on those, we can see the price impact on that stock. Coming to macro, during our market hours around 2 p.m., Germany's industrial growth is scheduled to release. Moving on, for Tuesday, as far as I know, there will be no major events are scheduled to release apart from the speech of some FOMC members. Then on Wednesday, October 11th, very important Q2 FY 2024 earnings report of TCS. Here, based on the TCS earnings, it will set the tone for all IT sector and frankly for all Indian companies. About macro, during our market hours at 11:30 a.m., there is a schedule for release of German CPI, Germany's consumer inflation. Then in the aftermarket hours, US Fed FOMC meeting minutes held in September will be released. We all know that Fed paused the interest rate in its September meeting, but analysts will be looking for some clue about the future guidance. Anyway, 90% chance it will be on the hawkish note. Let's see. Coming to Thursday, October 12th, on the earnings side, there is a schedule for release of HCL and Infosys. Regarding macro, there will be a lot scheduled to release in the aftermarket hours. First, India's consumer inflation CPI for September month. Last August month, India's inflation decreased to 6.8% from 7.4% in July, in line with the market expectations. This time, the expectation is 5.45%, less than 6%. And there is a schedule for India's industrial production data, IIP for August month. Last July month, it increased by 5.7% year-on-year basis. This time the expectation is 9.3% increase. Regarding world macro, first during our market hours at 11:30 a.m., there is a schedule for release of UK GDP data. Then in the aftermarket hours, there is a schedule for very important macro release, US inflation. In August month, US inflation increased slightly to 3.7% from 3.2%. For September month, at present, the expectation is 3.6%. This data will be the make or break data. Finally, on Friday, October 13th, there are a couple of Indian important macro scheduled to release. However, I am expecting market will react to the US inflation data. Anyway, first one is India wholesale inflation, WPI data for September month. The wholesale price inflation WPI is projected to increase a bit in September. Just for info, for August month, WPI data comes as negative 0.5%. On the earnings side, it's just HDFC Life Insurance and Aditya Birla Money. So that's all in this video. Hope you all got some useful information. Please consider subscribing to the channel and liking the video, so it will help me beat the YouTube algorithm and also motivate me to do more. Please don't make any investment based on this, as I'm not a SEBI registered advisor. I'm doing this for my and viewers' educational purpose only. Thanks for watching.